One, two, one.
Oh, right. Yeah, welcome to another episode of This Is Not What I Meant. I'm Anati Padyal, and today I'm going to talk about Kakegurui. Yep, and yeah, so Kakegurui, or as it translates into English as The Gambling Freak, is that show. I mean, you could easily typecast the show into the over the top anime category, like easily. I've said this before, the potato chip scene from Death Note is the kind of ordinary emotional exaggeration you can expect from anime shows, but Kakegurui takes it notches further. It's the whole theme of this show to be over the top. The whole fucking show trips on gambling, forget BDSM. The kind of sadomasochism the show represents is relentless and disempowering in the sense that giving up control to something like luck is freeing. More on that later. Let's talk about the plot. Kakeguru is a show about an elite school where gambling is the norm. Every student participates in the gambling that takes place whenever they get time from their classes. I haven't seen anybody taking any classes though in that show. It's just gambling, and those kids are from the elitist families you could have in Japan. Somebody's parent is in the cabinet, somebody's the finance minister, somebody is controlling a market segment in the terms of retail. There is this girl whose father is the owner of all the biggest toy company in Japan, and yep, they're all very rich. And when I say that the gambling is norm, you know, the stakes are like millions of dollars or thousands of, yeah, 1 million or 100,000. That's the normal stake that goes on. They're not kidding when they say that they're going to gamble. So yeah, so the gambling is the norm, and the student council, which runs the account for everyone. The student council runs the account for everyone. They organize games and keeps an order as to who is in debt, and the bottom 100 students become the pets. Yep, they have a concept of pets, and pets are someone. Well, you can ask them to do anything. The school system is a place separate from the real world. It's like protected from forces like the families that run the school, right? Now, the clincher or the cliche of the show is that a new student, Jabami Yumiko, enters the school, and guess what? She's the gambling freak. She is amazing. She's a compulsive gambler who has keen sight. She's super intelligent, so charismatic, and so bubbly, cheery. And at first glance, you won't know that she is a compulsive gambler. She's a freak when it comes to gambling. She's like, okay, I'm bubbly, I'm cheery. Let's play, right? If you are inviting me to something, yeah, okay, I'll give it a try. But I don't know how to do it. But man, when she gets down to play, and it is amazing. Now, Yumeko is someone who gambles for the sake of gambling, which makes her dangerous as fuck. Because losing money doesn't phase her. You can see where this is going, right? And it does go there. I mean, yeah, it does go there. It is very predictable in that sense that she disrupts the school system since she doesn't want to gain any social benefits or status, which are the motivators for other people. Like if they do well in the gambling, which is what decides if you are suited to be in the society or not, because they cover a lot of facets when it comes. The gambling covers a lot of facets when it comes to negotiation powers, deception, a lot of math. I'm just making stuff up, but that's what the show says. Like, you have to be leaders of the world, because the children are gonna become the ministers from the school. They're gonna have their own businesses, and that's how nepotism works. But you need to be up for it as well. So Yumeko is, she doesn't give a shit about all of this. Somehow she has a lot of money. I don't know what the source of her income is, but she's like, yeah, why not? Well, let's just bet everything. But she's very intelligent as well. She ends up winning in certain games, and she's calculative to be insane enough, right? She's not stupid in that sense. Like, you can't call her stupid, you will call her crazy. So why have I watched this show twice already? Okay, first of all, gambling, right? I am a sucker for innovative games, deception, bluffing, and con, and they have loads of them in the show. Card games are amazing, and let me talk about the first episode itself, right? So Yumeko is invited to a game by Mary's Sayotomi. I botch these pronunciations, don't I? So Mary invites Yumeko to a game, and Mary is like, okay, I'm gonna con this girl into giving me all her money because I'm gonna cheat, of course, because all of the people in the classroom, most of the people are her pets who are in her debt. So the game is kind of like, you have played stone, paper and scissors, or rock, paper and scissors. So it's a spin on that in terms that everybody in the classroom, there are like 30 students, they have to write on a card. They have to draw on a card, a stone or a paper or a scissors, and they're going to put it into a ballot box. And what the players have to do is to draw 3 cards from the ballot box, without looking. So they're going to have 3 options. Both of them are going to have 3 options. Now, it is very, very unlikely to get all the 3 options. That is rock, paper, and scissors. You would either have 2 of the same thing and 1 different, or all 3 of them being the same thing. That is more likely to happen because, that is what it is. So there's going to be an imbalance. So what you have to do is that the person, they would say okay, rock, paper, scissors, and they will draw out a card at the same time. And so that the rules of the game stand, the rules of rock, paper, and scissors stand at that point, but you don't have the 3 options, right? So if the person draws, it's more likely that your card is going to match, so you do it again. You get 3 chances to do it again till all the 3 cards are used, and the person who wins the round wins the bet. And that is the game, and it was so it's amazing, it's incredible. I loved it, and the show is filled with games like this, and it's really amazing to watch, because then Yumeko is like, okay, she doesn't know. We think that she doesn't know that they're cheating. We as viewers don't know that they're cheating or not, and then it is revealed that she is, and she does okay, I'm gonna buff you again, and Yumeko is figures out the pattern. She ends up winning, and Mary becomes a pet, and that is a spoiler, but that's for just the first episode. But you see where I'm going with this, right? So it is amazing. The gambling, it's very innovative, and I loved it. So the second reason I watched this show twice was that there are a lot of crazy women in this show. The women literally get off on gambling, and I do mean it that way. And there is a lot of fan service. That is what I talked about in my last episode, and that there is a lot of fan service in the show, in certain animes, and the characters are sexualized. And in Kakegurui, it did tick me off a little, but as I said, that it's not just about the physical appearance, but the women characters are so powerful. They do not give a fuck, and it is incredible to watch. And there's a certain uneasiness between the dynamic that is created between all of them, but it is very sexual, but nothing happens, and it's sort of like They want to show how insane and how addictive gambling is, in the sense that it's very equatable to sexual desires, and they did a good job of showing that. And they are crazy, and it is such an intense show, and they've done a really good job with the animation when it comes to that. So coming back to the concept they've taken, that is the essence of gambling, which is madness. Now, there is a lot of cheating that goes on, but it's incredible to see as to how insane the characters get during a game. So the lead, Yumeko, is the kind of person that believes in leveling the playing field. And as I talked about that first episode, even when there is cheating, she believes in increasing the risk. And talking about the first episode again, she is like, okay, I'm going to bet $10 million. And why? What? Okay, let's just okay. She says that she's gonna bet 10 million, and Mary's like, oh, I'm gonna really con this game, and I'm gonna really rig this game, and I'm gonna win. And this new student is mad, and she's crazy, and which is true, because then she goes up in her face. She's like, I'm gonna get you on the same bandwagon as me of getting your gambling freak on. So if you know that you're gonna win, why not bet $10 million? And Mary's like, oh my god, she is crazy. And that is when Yumeko speaks her catchphrase. She's like, Kakegurui Masha. And that means let's get her gambling freak on, and her eyes turned red. Animation is amazing. So what does that mean exactly, to get your gambling freak on? So why is she so insane about gambling? So there's this theory called the theory of determinism, and it's sort of opposite to the concept of free will. Basically, it means that all events, including your moral choices, are completely determined by previously existing causes. Determinism is usually understood to preclude free will, as I said, and because it entails that humans cannot act otherwise than they already do. I think it makes sense, right? And the theory holds that the universe is utterly rational because complete knowledge of any given situation assures that unerring knowledge of its future is also possible. So if you know what's going to happen, life becomes boring for someone like Yumeko or the student council president in the show, who's Kirari Omobami, who is as crazy and as intelligent as her. But the personality types differ in the sense that Yumeko is kind of cheery, bubbly, charismatic, friendly, and on the other hand, Kirari is like narcissistic. She's so narcissistic, and she thinks everybody is below her, but she's also very charismatic. I think, yeah, in a very psychopathic sense. Yeah, okay, I'm saying crazy and insane. There are definitely a lot of sociopaths in the show. So gambling, hence gambling at stakes as high as mapping out an entire life plan for someone. Yep, that does happen in the show. And since, as I said, that they're from elite families and they're going to end up ruling Japan amongst themselves, they definitely can enforce this. She has the power, the president has the power to enforce a life plan on someone, that you're going to marry this person, you're going to have these many kids, and this is what your life is going to be like. And it is going to be like that. It's not just some however many bold years go, but So stakes as high as life and death, or even as higher as, to bet on someone else's life or someone else's life plan, are just some of the things that go on to show that giving up control to something like probability, something like luck, and actively removing the calculable factor from probability intentionally is just freeing. In the end, the thrill, the chase comes from a chance event, and it becomes an item of novelty in their lives, and they just can't get enough of it. It is ridiculously over the top, and it is so incredibly fun to watch. And it's kind of weird to think that Kakegurui, Death Note, and Attack on Titan are all produced by MAPPA, but like these one theme shows, even with Death Note, it was about playing God, and with Kakegurui, it's about gambling and what it entails. Though the storyline is definitely not strong, and the over sexualization of the female characters gets a bit irritating, Kakegurui is fast paced, entertaining, crazy, and intense. Did I say crazy? Yeah, so that was it for Kakegurui. And that was, I was waiting to talk about this show since January. I don't know why I haven't done it. And I've seen the show twice. I can't wait for season 3. I don't know why this show didn't get a lot of great reviews. I mean, obviously the plot is not that strong, but it's amazing to watch. It's fun. The animation is great. I've talked about it a lot. Okay. Yeah, and yeah, this OP is amazing. Season 2 OP. And the first one as well, it was called Deal with Devil. It's very jazzy. You should check it out. And yeah, this was it for this episode of This Is Not What I Meant. Keep listening to... Yeah, This Is Not What I Meant. Yeah, and I'm Anandi Patel. Thank you. 私のたしなみ